Hey drawing fans, welcome to Harptooniacs, advanced drawing and art channel. Hey, today I'm going to show you more in depth how to use your iPad Pro and the app Procreate to draw this cartoon piece of pizza. And it's actually one that I use on another channel that I have, and that is Animated Pizza Party. So I have a whole nother channel dedicated to all of my animations. Well, this video got a little long, so I broke it up into two parts. One is the drawing part, and the next part is coloring. So if you're interested in how to color line art in Procreate, you want to jump over to video number 2. If you're interested in how to draw or my drawing process in Procreate, you're at the right place. And of course, you can always watch both videos. Okay, well, let's get started and let's get creating. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I draw a cartoon piece of pizza, okay? Now, very similar to the one I use for my logo, which is for my new YouTube channel. It's all about my animations, and that is, if you want to check it out, Animated Pizza Party. Yeah, so I have switched to using the iPad Pro and the app Procreate and a couple other apps for just about all of my work. Okay, so check this out. First thing I do is, I know a piece of pizza is basically a triangle, right? And look, I'm not being fancy. I want it to be kind of rounded on the edges because it's a cartoon piece of pizza. I know it has eyes. I'm going to draw the eyes in there. My big cartoon eyes. I made the other one happy. Let's make this one sort of serious and kind of a cool looking face. Yeah, cool looking face. So this is where you can kind of play around with it. There we go. Yeah. I don't know if that's cool. I mean, I don't know how you make a cartoon piece of pizza too cool. In fact, even that term probably is a little past dated. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I've got my cartoon piece of pizza. Now what I want to do is I want to add the crust. And I'm going to add the other side of the pizza. And then so what I have is the general thing. Now, like this part here, I don't like. It's too far out there. So I just go back and erase. I make changes. One of the things, I'll show you the brush I like to use. I use this brush. It's called Syrup. I believe it comes with, Procreate. So, and then the other thing I like to do is I have Streamline on. So I have it about 65%. What that does, what Streamline allows you to do is you get these really nice strokes. And depending on how far you set it, that's how much it's going to control your brush. I don't want to control too much. And then if you ever going to make a really nice circle, you can always draw, a circle, hold it, and look, it snaps too. And then you can actually arrange that circle, move it. So if you wanted these to be eyes, you draw one here. And let's say you got one here, let it snap. And you can like work on the size and position of that. Doesn't always work perfectly. Sometimes it takes a lot of tries. If you want to undo something, just double tap. Two finger tap. Return something. There's a 3-finger tap. Okay. And there you go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lower the opacity of this rough layer. You can still see it. This is layers are like tracing paper. So you can color on them, make them nice and solid, but you can also use them to draw your other character. Now, the other thing I like to do, and I showed this in my last video where I drew a Sharktopus, I like to go up here to this little wrench tool, and I like to turn on my canvas, and I like to turn on the reference. What that does is it shows me the image, just a little window of that image. So now I can zoom in here. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so it's not taking up so much screen space. Now what that allows me to do is zoom in here, and I can work real close, and I can still see what the final how the image is going to look like. I know that if that little tiny image, I know that if that tiny image looks good in that window, then it's reading nice and clear. And that's what you want cartoons to do. You want them to read very simply, very easily. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to start with this. Look how that shows up there. That looks really good. Now I can go to the eye. Too robotic looking or too perfect looking. And so you just have to kind of weigh the pros and cons of the type of line you want. There we go. There's our first eye, and you can see in that smaller window, it's turning out really good. Definitely pops out and stands out. I'm going to draw a cheek here, so I'm going to erase part of my eye. Let's have a little bit of an overlap of a cheek. Then I'm going to go into this mouth. And back around here. And now we can connect there. We can add some teeth and a tongue. I'm going to fill this shape in. This I remember in Procreate trying to figure this out for the longest time. So if you're new to Procreate, this is going to make it real simple. You just grab your color. Oh no. If you hold it, it's going to switch back to your original color. I'm going to just take that color. You have to kind of pull it fast. Oh. So you have to, if I leave it on there, it's going to switch back to the last color that was picked. And there we go. Now I'm just going to drag it and put it in there. And there you go. It fills real fast. Next eye. That looks good. I'm going to go in here. I see it's a little, I can look in this window up here and I see that it's just not quite as thick as I want it to be in some areas. There. And you might look at this and say, well, that was pretty picky. That's, hey, as an artist, you're allowed to be picky. Nothing wrong with that. Now we're going to draw the other eyebrow. And the top of the eyebrow there. And now, a couple things I can do. I can either redraw that eye, or I can take my lasso tool. I can lasso around it. I have it on the free hand. Come over here, go to Add, Copy. I go over here, and I'm going to paste. Now I just have to move this over. Probably resize it a little bit, because I'm not going to be quite as big. Looking in that window to see if it works, and it does. There we go. Pretty easy. Let's see. I like to have a little bit of some lines coming around these eyes. And I'm always looking in that little window just to make sure the lines are working good and everything reads nicely. Okay, and that also prevents me from having to zoom in and out a whole bunch. So this is going to be the crust. I don't like how that looks, so I'll just double get rid of that. See how this one looks. Another thing, you could always add extra layers, so if something doesn't work, you can just simply delete the layer instead of having to go back and redo everything. Now what I have here is a bit of a tangent. You can see the eyebrow runs into the pizza crust. I don't want that. So I'll go and erase and redraw. Okay. Now for the edge of my pizza, I want the cheese to be kind of goopy. If I just make it a plain triangle, it's not going to read as a pizza. So same thing with the bottom of the pizza. That looks a little weird. So I go back in here. Maybe better, yeah. This one's definitely different than my channel logo, but it's fun. And now let's bring this around and up. Thickening in some of these lines. I don't need all of them to join, but I am going to thicken some of these up. I think it needs it. I'm still looking in that little window. That's where my focus is. Keep looking back to make sure everything looks good in there. And now, you could add pepperoni or sausage, whatever you want. Obviously, I don't want it to take away too much of the face. So I'm just going to do these little, basically just a plain cheese pizza. But even with plain cheese, the sauce, little spices kind of come through. Still looking in that window, making sure it looks good. Oh. Okay, there we go. Now I can delete my layer below, but actually instead of deleting it, I'm just going to turn off the check mark so that makes it invisible. And you'll notice here that it says it has two layers. What happens when I copy that pupil, it makes a second layer. Automatically will copy and make a second layer. So what I'm going to do with that second layer, I'm just going to merge. So I tap on this and I'm just going to merge down. And now what I have is I have my line art layer. I want to color this in. Now this is an easy way to color things in. I like to just... Hey, thank you so much for watching. This video got a little bit long, so if you want to see the coloring of this art project, it's in the next video, how to color in Procreate. Hey, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you're into learning more advanced art techniques. And I'm going to keep on making videos, so enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video.